How I got from this look to that look. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber, you're highly welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always showing up. As always start by cleaning up your face. Always. After cleaning up your face, you could use a moisturizer, but me, I went directly with my primer. So you apply your primer and you use your fingers. You use your fingers to rub it into your face skin. That's how we do it. Always use your fingers. From there, you go in with your foundation. I mix the Kiko foundation and the V Beauty foundation to get my skin tone. I used a foundation brush and I started blending the foundation into my skin. As you can see, watching carefully, you're going to see that I don't pull in the foundation on my foundation brush. I tap in the foundation. Take your time to always blend very well. So from there, you have to go with your contour. But I decided using this Avo foundation because I just bought it and I wanted to test it. I wanted to know how it feels using it as a concealer. And sincerely, I do not regret. So you go in with your concealer or a foundation lighter than your skin shade, like 2 shades or 1 shade lighter than your skin shade. But I always prefer 2 shades lighter. You apply it on the T-zones as I'm doing right here. Under your eyes, on your forehead, on your chin, and beneath your nose, on your middle nose. Then you blend using a beauty blender. You can also use a fluffy brush. It depends on how you feel comfortable. I feel comfortable blending my concealer with a beauty blender. So that's why I go in with my beauty blender. If you're using a beauty blender, always make sure your beauty blender is not totally dry. So from there, I went in with my Kiko foundation and concealer, darker shade here, 1 shade darker than my skin tone, as you can see. The reason for this is for contour, is to contour your face. Emphasize on your nose is very important because your nose contour is going to show how big or how small your nose is going to be. So your nose contour is very important. The shape depends on your nose shape depends on how you contour your nose. So using my beauty blender, I start blending everything out, and I'm blending upward, not downward. If you blend downward, your face is going to look dull. So it's always good to blend upward. Using my beauty blender, I blend everything out and always take your time to blend. So after blending my contour, that's how my face look like. Look at how defined the face is. Can you see that? Look at the nose. From there, I go in with my liquid blush. I always like this color. It's kind of orange, kind of reddish orange. I always just like this color. So I apply it on my cheekbone and I blended it with my beauty blender. I always say this, if you feel comfortable blending with a brush, then fine. If you feel comfortable blending with a beauty blender, feel free. I feel comfortable blending with a beauty blender. That's why I always use a beauty blender to blend. And remember, if you're using a beauty blender to blend, always make sure your beauty blender is not totally dry. Blend my blush and I bring it back to the nose a little. From there, I go in with my setting powder from Blossom Makeup High Definition. I take the material and I remove the excess, as you can see. Removing the excess, what is left on the sponge, I bring it under my eye, just like this. And I do the same on the other side. Using my V Beauty powder palette, I go in with a 1 shade darker than my skin tone to do the powder contour. Exactly like this. You see the brush I'm using is fluffy, but it's not big. So that's a brush I always like. That's my best brush. So I use it and I take that shade of powder I just show you, and I blend the powder into my skin to create the contour. Exactly where I apply the cream contour, that's where I apply the powder contour. Using a smaller fluffy brush, I apply that same powder tone to my nose to create that nose. Remember I said wherever you apply the cream contour, that's where you apply the powder contour. Good. Do you validate? Because I validate. Okay, so we go with the blush. My blush got finished, so I had to use my eyeshadow palette to get a blush shade. So I mixed those two shades to get the exact blush color I wanted. And that's how it comes out. I won't lie to you, this is a technique I was actually just trying and it came out very well. So if you don't have a blush, you could use your eyeshadow palette and create your blush. Then I go in to blend in the powder, the certain powder into my skin. Going in with the Sacha Matte Butter Cup Setting Powder, I take some, remove the excess still, and apply under my eyes. Exactly like that. I apply it on both sides. From there, I went directly in drawing my eyebrows. So I took a spoolie and I brushed my eyebrows upward. After brushing my eyebrow upwards, I took my brown pencil, my sharp brown pencil, and a mirror. Pay attention at this level. It's really not difficult. One line down, one line up, fulling of the brows, concealing to get the perfect brow, and that's it. Let me allow you watch the process. When filling your brows, always remember there are strokes. One stroke, two stroke, always remember there are strokes. You don't color your brows. You stroke them off. When you're satisfying with the filling in of your brows, you take your spoolie and brush your brows upward, the front part of your brows especially. When it gives you your satisfaction, you go in with your concealer brush and the concealer lighter than your shade, 1 or 2 shades lighter than your normal shade. So you define your brows exactly like I'm doing at that particular place, like in the middle of your brows with that clear shade of concealer. Using the same brush and the same concealer tone or shade, you go on your other brow and do the same thing. So when you're done, you clean your concealer brush. Then you go in with the foundation you used on your face. And then you take the foundation with your concealer brush and do exactly what I'm doing. When you're done concealing your brows downward and you're satisfied, do not add any product to your concealer brush. Just use the remaining product on the brush and go and conceal the upper part of your brow, that is if necessary. Remember, I always tell you that when it gets to brows, concealer is like an eraser. Concealer is there to remove the imperfections. Concealer is there to try to make your brows look perfect, natural. So concealer is the magic of the brows. Remember that. So when you're satisfied with your brows, what you do is that you take a fluffy brush, a small fluffy brush, and blend off the excess of the concealers. This is how it should look like at the end. So from there, you go in with your eyeshadow, but do not apply eyeshadow on your eyelid without applying eyeshadow primer. If you do not have an eyeshadow primer, you could replace it with your concealer, but the shade of the concealer you use as a primer of your eyelid should be lighter than your skin tone, exactly like how I'm doing. You apply your concealer, you use your beauty blender and blend it out to avoid crease. Sincerely, at this point in time, I do not even know the look I was going for. So I was just going with the flow. So what I did is I took my V Beauty palette, my V Beauty powder palette, and I took a lighter shade there. Using a fluffy brush, I was just applying the lighter shade on the whole of my eyelid. Then it gave what it gave. Just look at what we did. I went in with a red shade of my eyeshadow palette and just blended it like that. Like I used a red shade and I used an orange shade to have this look. Just watch how I got to this look. When I felt like, okay, I'm satisfied, I took my setting spray and I sprayed my face. This is always my best time with makeup. Spraying my face. So from there, I went in with my eyeliner. You know me with my eyeliner. I don't play with my eyeliner. I went in with my eyeliner. You see below the eyeliner, there's that red shade there. I told you concealer is an eraser. So you're going to see, I'm going to erase that red shade with a concealer. And the makeup is going to be perfect. So going in with my eyeliner, when I was done with my eyeliner, I ran in with that shade that I just showed you. That particular shade is actually my shade, my exact shade. So I used that shade and I blended my whole face with a fluffy brush. Should I say big fluffy brush? But that's a powder brush though. So from there I went in with my lips. Sincerely, even for the lips, I do not know which look I was going for. I was just going with the flow, you know. I got this and I decided to get that in the middle. That was a kind of light pink shade. Then when I blended it, I was like, it's giving something. It's giving something. Okay, let's go. Let's go, girl. Let's go. I looked at it, I'm like, it's coming. Then I said, why not add a kind of rosy gloss, which I did at the end. Concealer cleaning up. You know, concealer always doing the job. So using my concealer, clean the excess up and down. And I went in with that. With this is a kind of pink gloss, a little bit pink glossy something. I just went in with it and it gave that, and I kind of like it because it was giving Gen Z and at the same time, you know, so I liked it. So going in with the magic powder, I call this magic powder because it does magic to my face. I ran and just setting those light places of the face. You know, those places of the face are always just like touch. When they look at you, that's the first thing they see on your face. If it's not giving life, then your makeup is not giving. So that's what that magic powder does. And I'm like, oh girl, it's giving. So I went in with my highlights and look at the glow. Look at it. Look at that glow, girl. Look at that glow. I just love that. And I said, yeah, let's go, let's do this. Let's do this. The glow is glowing. It's giving what it's supposed to give, girl. Look at that. So from there, I went in with, with my mascara. You know, this mascara, I discovered this mascara not long ago. It has that part for the down and the part for the up. Just look at it. Camera doesn't do justice this mascara on my eyes. It doesn't. Let me get this wig on. So this is the final look. I hope you liked it and I hope it helped you. Do not forget to subscribe, hit the notification button so we can meet next time. Bye.